Well, hello there. My name is Kristin Bock, and I am fascinated by all things communication, specifically nonverbal communication, which includes body language. And what I want us to be talking about now are first impressions. I have a question for you. How long do you think you have to make a first impression? I'll give you a few seconds to think. Time's up. Okay, so what did you guess? I'm guessing you got a clue for my timer, and there's a ton of research out there. But in brief, anywhere from 7 seconds or less seems to be kind of the standard research. There's a lot of research that even supports like 1 or 2 seconds or less. So the point is, it's very brief and it's very important. We need to form good impressions to help show up in the world in a way that we choose to show up. So I want us to start thinking about how all this relates to just our day-to-day interactions. So let me begin by just saying that first impressions happen the moment someone sees you. It's not the first time you speak. So I go back and I think about myself in high school or younger days, and I definitely thought that if I didn't speak, people really didn't notice me. And that is just not the case. It happens the moment someone sees you. So if you're looking at these images here, your brain has already started to categorize people and kind of form an opinion about them. That's a first impression. So when you think about first impressions, I want you to think about the acronym PAIN. Really great word there, right? So PAIN, P is permanent. That when we first see someone or something and form an impression of them, our brain makes a little bit of a rule. So it's not impossible, but it becomes much more difficult to change that impression. And for the most part, our brain is deciding very quickly, friend or foe. So this is self-preservation. Our brain is doing its job. It's like a software program in the background, constantly scanning, making sure we are safe. So it's gotten pretty good at determining friend or foe. Now, if you've put me in the friend category, and I hope you have, your brain is finding things. It's kind of cherry picking and finding things to say, see, you can trust her. She knows what she's talking about. Or if you've put me in the foe category, your brain is saying things like, I don't know, or she looks like she might do harm. And it validates basically what bucket you've been put in. Now, 76% accurate, that is the A. That's not perfect, but that's pretty good. And again, this is from our evolution, our survival as a species, really helping us size up very quickly different situations. So if we're walking and we hear someone approaching from behind, our brain is doing kind of these mental gymnastics to figure out, am I safe? That is going on constantly. So we don't do a perfect job, but pretty good. It's immediate, that is the I. So again, kind of these snap judgments very quickly, a couple seconds or less. And then N, nonverbals. It's using nonverbals to make these determinations. Now, nonverbal communication is sort of the umbrella term for body language, which are facial expressions, posture, stance, movement. It also includes vocal tone. We can tell a lot about someone through their vocal tone. Just think about sarcasm. Are they being quiet? Are they being loud? There's a lot that we can decipher from a voice. And then also ornaments. Ornaments are those things that we take a lot of cues from to help determine things. So this is haircuts, makeup, clothing, jewelry, how you're dressing for a situation. We can take a lot of information from that, and that is why the fashion industry makes billions of dollars every year, because that is one pretty easy way that we can intentionally manipulate how we're showing up. So it's covering all those things. All right, so remember pain when you think of first impressions. Now, I wanted to just share a little bit of science with you, a little bit of a study that talks about first impressions. Frank Bernieri is a researcher, and he wanted to get at this at the core of first impressions. So he designed a study where he asked trained evaluators to interview candidates. So what he did is he did mock interviews. They were 20 minutes, and he asked the trained evaluators to rate the candidates on warmth, competence, and confidence. Now, the real kind of surprise behind this was that he actually filmed the interactions. So the interviews took place, the evaluators did their evaluating, and they gave the scores. Then what he did is he took that filmed interaction and he showed it to a second group of trained evaluators, and he asked them to do the same thing. I want you to rate these candidates on warmth, competence, and confidence. However, with the second group, he only showed them 20 seconds of that filmed interaction. So it was the same exact everything, but shortened to 20 seconds. And of course, what he picked up on is within 20 seconds, those trained evaluators were giving the same scores as the interactions, the evaluators with the 20-minute interview. So that hints at the power of first impressions. It really was a matter of the person coming in, shaking the evaluator's hand, saying their name, hello, my name is Kristin, nice to meet you, and then sitting down. And in that shorter period of time, they were able to suss out and assess very quickly. That is the power of first impressions. So I want you to start thinking about, how does this show up? I want you to start what I call in the wild, looking at people in the grocery store, at the gas station, different places you're going, and start noticing how your brain is picking up on these cues constantly. And again, how it's doing it to serve and protect you. And then think about how you can be more intentional, how you can use it and leverage it to show up in a way that you choose to show up.